What's up, Phoenix Suns Nation? Game 63 is in the books, and the Phoenix Suns earned back-to-back wins at Footprint Center. The Suns take down the Toronto Raptors to advance to 37-26 on the season. The Suns take down the Raptors 113-120. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Let's jump into it.
Gorgeous move for Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
Booker is still out, and so that means we still needed more from Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and the entire crew, and they do exactly that, holding off the Toronto Raptors, like I said, for their 37th win of the season. And as we always say here, it is important this point of the season to earn your wins, take care of business so you don't fall behind. And as of tonight, of course, this can change, but as of tonight, the Suns currently sit at the 6th seed. That could change, obviously, with the Pelicans being at the 5th seed. And so a lot of comfortability with that spot right there with still about 20 games left in the season. Ashton, take it away. How you feeling about this game? What were your initial reactions from what you saw tonight from the Suns?
Oh yeah, big. It's always nice to get a win, and tonight I would say was a kind of ugly one. I'll admit I'm kind of slightly disappointed after this game.
Okay,
But
okay.
a win is a win, and in this current environment that the West is in, we need all the wins we could get, especially for our upcoming matchup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you don't know what we're talking about, well, we play the Boston Celtics, the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, twice in the next 3 games. And in between that, you're playing the number 3 seed, who are 40-22 on the season. We're playing the Cavaliers in Cleveland, where they are 21-11, which is a pretty good record. And so just side note, we play Boston at Footprint Center this Saturday. And then we go on that little road trip that we were all scared about and we talked about last post-game reaction, even though we were very excited about the Nuggets win. But yeah, then you take on the Celtics, who are 29-3 at home. So, but hey, rumored Devin Booker is day-to-day now, could potentially make his way back to the court Saturday, which would be outstanding. Of course, you don't want to rush him back. But anyways, back to tonight. I'm glad that you said that, because you're right? You know, obviously, if we lost this game, there would be hell to be paid, because, you know, you just can't go out and lose a game like this against a 23-40 team, or 23-39 going into the night. Now they're 23-40. So they took care of business. But yeah, I mean, high on the turnovers again. You look at that, you know, we had 14, they had 9. But it was really their ability to capitalize on our turnovers and their points, and they shot it from the 3-point line as well. They got really hot over there, especially from Gary Trent Jr. 30 points total was really the main powerhouse over there. I think we did get a little lucky with the Raptors not having Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is kind of that guy that brings the Raptors together with his rebounds and assists. But yeah, we got to win. I mean, let's all relax here, right? Ashton, don't bring down the party. Why are you bringing that negativity in here? We won tonight. 2-game winning streak. And Devin Booker is potentially back on the horizon. Who was your player of the game tonight, Ashton?
This one was a tough choice, but I nominate Grayson Allen.
Okay.
For tonight's game, gets the game ball tonight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 8 of 14 from the 3-point line, but also have that. I had that incredible, impeccable first half. Ties a franchise record for most 3 points made in the first quarter, which was 7. It was 7, right?
I think he broke it. New franchise record in
I think I said
made in a quarter.
I think I said he set the franchise record.
You said tie.
Did I say tie? My bad. So tie, set. My bad. I'm trying to look it up here because I think it's 7, right? He hit 7 in the first.
7 threes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Dude came out, was just relentless hitting the 3. Yeah, 7 threes in the first quarter for Grayson Goat Allen. Just obviously had that really bad stretch for about like 3 or 4 games. Well, I don't think it was that long. It was like 2 to 3 games. Had a pretty rough stretch there, but has brought it together in back-to-back games, has really been hitting the three-point line and has really elevated his play in a time where the Suns absolutely need it with Devin Booker being out.
Oh yeah, it was magical. He did slow down at the end of the game, which was disappointing. He was on record for what, 42 threes if we kept making 7 threes a quarter.
Yeah, if we're doing that math right, if you're hitting 7 threes a quarter, you're on pace for 28 at the end of the game, which NBA record I believe is 14. But yeah, he absolutely went completely cold in the second half. Did not make a single shot in the second half. But hey, man, I'm not complaining. You look at the stat line: 26 points, the second leader in scoring tonight. And then little fun fact, Nurkic has been playing terrific in this stretch here. 12 first half rebounds for Nurkic. This is his 14th game with 10 plus rebounds and a half this season, tying Sean Marion for the most in a single season by a Suns player. So Yusuf Nurkic, that trade is panning out. I think can we just settle this? Can we settle this, Ashton? Did we win the trade? Like, no matter what happens, did we win the trade?
Specifically the Nurk and Allen trade?
Yeah. Well, I'm just.
What kind of question is that?
Well, people like to bring it up sometimes when Nurkic has a bad game or he misses a bunny hop or something like that. They're like, "Oh, Nurkic." It's like, look, Nurkic is not Shaquille O'Neal. Nurkic is not one of the greatest to ever play the game. But I think that's what we love so much about him is that Nurkic is such a teammate, man. He's such a team player. If you see him on social media after, he's doing everything he can to just talk up his teammates. And, even in his press conference, I remember when he was first introduced as a Phoenix Sun and he's just talking like he has this whole different demeanor about like, I'm here to get rebounds. I'm here to play defense. I'm here to do all that kind of stuff. As for he who shall not be named, number 22 previously, was kind of in it for different reasons. So that's just what this team needs. And I'm loving Nurkic. I think he's the next jersey I got to buy.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of jerseys to buy, your boy Bull. What did you think of his performance tonight?
Okay. So not the typical Bull experience, but
right.
he still put up great numbers, led the bench in scoring, and that's what we need him to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. 2 rebounds short of a double, a double. 11 points, 8 rebounds. So great night for him. 16 minutes, got some really good minutes in there. And then Drew Eubanks. Let's talk about Drew Eubanks a lot because I think he was very pivotal at the end of this game here. Not so much at the beginning of the game, but he was kind of just this force to be reckoned with to close out the game. Because credit to the Raptors, like they were fighting, man. They were not going away. It was actually getting really annoying. I'm like, we're gonna win this game, Raptors. Just chill. Stop trying to make it close. Stop hitting your threes and coming back. I get you're playing for pride, but like this game's over. Stop coming back. But yes, yeah. Drew Eubanks. 6 points, 8 rebounds.
Yeah, I just got incredibly annoyed. Just go away. Stop. Let us have this. We need this.
Exactly. Your season's over. Ours has just started. We need this win. And they did play around with their food a little bit, and it all goes back to turnovers. These teams. Well, I could tell you these 2 things, and you can comment on this, Ashton, what you think is the underlying issue here. The Suns tend to lose when they turn over the ball way too much, more than normal. So maybe like 10 plus turnovers. And then when they're not moving the ball on offense and they start going to this ISO hero ball where it's either Bradley has to bail them out or Kevin Durant has to bail them out. And usually those 2 things don't happen separately. They happen at the same time. So like KD will turn over the ball And then the next possession, KD plays ISO ball. And then he plays another possession ISO ball. And it just kind of piles on, and the other team goes on a run, and then they're back in it. What do you think about that, Ashton?
Oh my God. If I had a nickel for every time KD or Beal or Book went to ISO, I'd be a rich man.
But here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I think we rack on ISO ball like it's the worst thing in the world. It isn't. Like, there is a time and place in the game of basketball for ISO ball. There really is. And I think a perfect example of that is clutch moments, crunch moments. I think we saw that against the Denver Nuggets in overtime where they did go ISO ball because everyone's tired, right? Everyone's played 40 plus minutes. And at that point, you just need your best players to go out there and win it. And that's what the Suns did against the Nuggets. So ISO ball has its place. I'm not telling you that there isn't. And sometimes it makes for some exciting basketball too. Like when Devin Booker's one-on-one with someone, he mostly wins that matchup. But they still haven't nailed it yet. They'll get into those little dry spells, and they got a few of them tonight. The Raptors came back, and like Ashton and I said, it was pretty annoying. They were pissed. They couldn't just give us the game. It's like, chill, man, chill. Just let us win at home.
Yeah, as much as I'm dooming here, and I'm kind of disappointed from this game, they never took the lead. The Raptors never led a single minute during this game.
Is that so?
Oh. They got close multiple times, like within single digits, but they never led.
Wow, is that so?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I think, and if this was game 45 or if this was game 30, I think you might hear Suns Nation being a little bit more relaxed, being like, yeah, that was a sloppy win, but we got the win. But get it, and I say this, I think every post-game show, we're post All-Star break. And so these games matter a ton. And at this point, for the most part, this is going to be the team that you're going to have going into the playoffs. And when those sort of things that you saw at the beginning of the season, such as turnovers and ISO ball, maybe in the beginning of the season, you're looking at them like, oh, that's weird. That's kind of, that's kind of out of pocket for this team. But then you see it reoccurring consistently. It's like, yeah, this is a tendency of this team. And, I don't know if it's going to look any different come playoff time. Like, this is just who we are. Now, granted, I think it's because we lack a point guard, and we still have one more roster spot. That could potentially be filled. Also, shout out to Ish. Ashton's other favorite player, Ish Wainwright, is back in the Valley with the Phoenix Suns. I think he suited up. I think he was wearing like a shoot around jumper tonight. Obviously didn't get any minutes, but it'll be interesting because like Ashton said, David Roddy and Ish Wainwright are basically the same human. Like same exact body build, same exact production
on our team.
Yeah. And we were down a few players. Obviously, no Devin Booker, no Josh Okogie, no Nasir Little, no Thaddeus Young. Trust me, he's perfectly healthy, but we just still refuse to play him. And obviously, Damian Lee is he's just there. If you want to compare yourself to another basketball player in the NBA, compare it to Damian Lee, because you have the same exact stats that Damian Lee has in the NBA this season. But there we have it. What else do you have to say about this game, Ashton, before we move on and look forward to the upcoming game? Is there anything you still want to get off your chest about this?
No, I think that's really it.
Well,
it's just another win in the books.
Exactly. And shame on me. I completely went over Kevin Durant's 35 points. And that's kind of like Kevin Durant, because he's going to give you 20 to 30, and then we kind of just overlooked that greatness. So I'm so sorry, KD. 35 points, hit some crucial shots when the moment mattered. Usually we see Kevin Durant on the higher side of rebounds and assists, usually around 10 combined. Tonight, he was mainly a scorer. tonight only had 3 rebounds and only 1 assist. Bradley Beal was kind of the guy who took over the assists tonight with 8 of them. And, good, decent win. This can be built on. And that's where I'm at with this game. I'm just thankful for any wins that come our way.
Oh yeah, this was a big predicted win, and we'd be I don't know where we would be at if we lost this.
I know.
Panic mode?
Yeah, it would definitely be panic mode. And I was a little bit worried because obviously the Rockets, we dropped 2 out of 3 games against them, and the Raptors have a similar record to them. So I was kind of going into this like, could we? We could possibly drop this. But here's something I say all the time about sports. Like, good teams beat the teams that they should, but great teams do it on a consistent basis. And the Suns are kind of struggling to do that. Losing to the Rockets twice. And the Mavs are kind of in the middle. They're 33-23. Or no, that's a lie. They're much better than that. That was the wrong record. But yes, so 2-game winning streak, and we're kind of going back and back. So check this out. Since the All-Star break, we lost 2, we won 2, we lost 2, and now we've won 2. So according to this trajectory, all signs are pointing to losing to Boston and Cleveland.
But that means we're gonna win one against Boston.
That's right. Then we come back and we beat Boston and we beat Charlotte.
In their home?
Yeah.
Based off that logic.
Yeah, based off the trajectory, based off the pattern that has been developing. But kudos, we're back to 500 post All-Star break. That's good news. And if you guys tuned into the post-game show last time, and shout out to everyone who likes and subscribes and watches, Ashton and I kind of went over the next 5 games. I don't think it was the Denver game. It was a couple of games ago, and I predicted us going 1-4. I was like, no way we're beating anyone else except the Raptors. Ashton, though, I think you were a little bit optimistic, was it? You were a little.
I said I would be a little more optimistic, and I guess we'd be 2 of 3 these next 5 games. And,
okay.
Well, we're here.
Yeah. So my prediction is shot. Ashton's, though, is still alive, but unfortunately, it would mean that we would lose the next 3 games. So you jinxed us. You put us in a bad spot. But if you want to even go one further back, we did have predictions post All-Star break where I thought this team was going to go 20-7 in the final 27 games. Ashton said we were going to be right in the middle. He said like 14-13 games. So by that logic, that means we can only lose 1 more game for my prediction to be true. And on the other hand, Ashton has a little bit more wiggle room because we can lose about 7 to 8 more games before we get to Ashton's prediction, before we drop below 500. So what's your confidence level going into the weekend? This is a big game. Thankfully, it's at home. But how do you feel about this Boston team, this juggernaut coming in on Saturday?
I mean, I've heard that. Okay, so that Nuggets game did wonders for my confidence. We really needed that. So I'm a little more loose with my prediction now.
Mm-hmm.
But Boston, that's scary. The only thing I've heard is a weakness from them is their weak bench, which thankfully we kind of have some guys that could go off, like Grayson Allen tonight. Eric Gordon could occasionally drop the 20.
Mm-hmm.
Bol has 1 game where he dropped 20.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. I think if we want a chance to win one of those games, I think it's important to have Devin Booker. I'm going to tell you right now, I do think Devin Booker plays at least one of those Boston games. If it's me, I'm not playing him Saturday. As much as I want to see him, we have bigger fish to fry in terms of the playoffs. So I don't want to risk pushing him back. And we've seen it time and time again where like they try to play restrictions and minute restrictions on Book, and he's just like, forget that. Then he plays like the whole game. And then he's like, I can't play for the next week because my ankle swelled up. And it's like, well, we told you that. So, but you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. Obviously, everyone has to come and play, but you look at these past 2 wins with the Nuggets and the Raptors. The outlier is Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen has become like Michael Jordan in these last 2 games. In order for us to have a chance to win, and mind you, it took overtime to beat Denver. And this game, although we had the lead the entire time, we were always fighting off Toronto. So in order to beat Boston, you need someone to go off again. And Grayson Allen could potentially be that guy again. But, you got to look towards your bench. I need a big game from Bol Bol. I need a big game from Eric Gordon to give us a fighting chance to actually win this game, to win one of these games, because these next 3 games are tough. And then, we'll talk about the rest after, but yeah, this is tough. And it's so hard too to judge how we're going to, like, what type of team we're actually going to be, whether or not Devin Booker plays or not. Because if we lose to Boston without Devin Booker, then it's like, okay, we lost without Devin Booker. What I really want to see is I want to see the full team playing against the Boston Celtics. Because right now, if the season ends today, the Celtics are probably going to the finals. And so this is your good measuring marker for the Phoenix Suns, where you get to, find out what's cooking, what you got in the kitchen, those ingredients fresh or are they spoiled, I need to know. I need to know before we get to the round 1 of the playoffs. I need to know if this team can compete, because forget about it, man. If we go to Boston and if we beat the Celtics at their place with all of our guys, we are back. We are so back. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited.
Honestly, now that I'm a little more optimistic, I think we might take that Cavs game.
I feel, yeah. I feel better about the Cavs game than I do the Celtics.
Yeah, I think we might lose. I could still see us losing both Boston games, but
yeah.
I feel optimistic about Cavs because they're currently without Devon Mitchell and Evan Mobley.
Donovan Mitchell, yeah.
Shout out to my fantasy team for letting me know that information.
Yeah. Of course, we're not disrespecting or discrediting the Cleveland Cavaliers. They can definitely get a win. And so we got another comment here. It says, you guys must be proud being better than my Lakers. Shout out to you, Adam, in the chat. Hey man, you should check out our post-game reaction show for the Suns and the Lakers, because like we do not like the Lakers. Like, trust us. Like, the feeling's mutual. The way that you feel about us is the same way that we feel about you. But the Lakers, they could make a run. If you watch that post-game show, we break down the Lakers and how things could potentially